All right, everybody. So today's trade was a 1% loss. I ended up losing around $1,300 to $1,400, basically in between there, with commissions and fees on my live account. Right now, I am going to log into my Trade Locker Live and literally just show you guys live account how we did end up executing at that same exact spot. Look, as you can see right here, let me put the short position. We ended up shorting right around there, and I was indeed targeting that 5-minute low around 9:30, 9:35, but we ended up getting stopped out literally on that candle. So look, as you guys can see right there, it says live account, very simple, and then you guys can see right there it is the exact same trade, and we did end up getting stopped out. So whatever, we're gonna get into this deep breakdown. It is what it is. Hopefully it just doesn't go our way now, because I would be drastically pissed, but it is what it is. Anyways, let's start off on the daily time frame. If you guys do look at the daily, what was I looking at? I was looking at market structure. Yes, we're overbought. You could clearly see that, and I was indeed looking at this market structure: high, lower high, lower high, lower high, right? So I was pretty much just looking at that. And then the weekly, here's kind of where I messed up, because I didn't notice that the weekly, we ended up sweeping last week's low, so right around there, which on the daily is these lows right here. I just thought we were going to continue to break. I thought we were manipulating to the upside, and then we were going to distribute to the downside. But anyways, I knew I got biased wrong there, and I realized that mid-trade sucks to suck. It is what it is. Anyways, I'm going to show you the play we should have taken, and then the play that I did end up losing. So this is pretty much 6 o'clock, then 10 o'clock right here on that 4-hour time frame. I marked out a 4-hour key level, which literally right now it's getting respected, which is insane. Right here, marked it out. Very beautiful zone. If you guys do look at the 1-hour time frame, that is a nice prior support, which right here we have a prior support, hella resistance, right? Plus we almost closed below the CMA, so I was expecting for price to pretty much just give me the dump, the flush to the downside, right? But we never ended up having that. Let me remove this, and let's go to the 15-minute time frame. So 15-minute 9:45 candle ended up closing beautifully, right? Beautiful closure. I did expect for all of this to just dump. It was insane. But if you guys do look at the 1-minute time frame, I was waiting for a nice shift, right? In this case scenario, I think our stop loss was just a little wrong, and I think our entry was a little wrong. So literally right here, we broke this low, right? As you can see, we broke this low, we started pushing lower, and then we had this order block right here, which is pretty much a nice support zone for me, right? Right there is pretty much where I should have entered, literally on that retest right here. That would have been a beautiful entry, but impatience got to me right now. It is what it is. My risk management is on point. If not, I would not be a profitable trader, right? Risk management is everything. You always got to make more than whatever you're gonna risk. So in this case scenario, we ended up entering off the break of these lows, pretty much just the bottom of the move, right when we were gonna retrace. And the only problem with this is right after this break, it was the 10 o'clock candle. So I was telling the Discord, I was like, yo, like this could be the manipulation leg, and then we get fucked. But whatever, I told everybody to go with 1%. It is what it is. It would have been a nice little RR, a nice little 1.5 targeting this low right here, and we could have held the runners all the way to this low, maybe even this low, etc., right? So the way the position was going to be managed, it was going to be okay. But in this case scenario, if I would have entered right here off this retest, it would have been very nice. We would have been up by now. We would have been up almost a 2R. The risk to reward is a lot better. It's pretty much a 3R on that. Who knows if it's going to hit, but by now we would have secured at least 1%, some partials, etc. So we definitely could have entered a lot better. Now, with the bullish bias going on, so I would have looked at the 15-minute and noticed that 9:15 was very bullish. 9:15 pretty much broke above both of my EMAs. The 9 and the 50 is what I use. And pretty much we have nice levels that we could retest. So right here we have a nice little level that we could retest. We have this little level that we could retest right there. So pretty much nice levels that we could retest. And notice how on the 15-minute we pretty much have beautiful reactions off the EMA and those levels, right? If you look at the 1-minute time frame, we tapped both levels, and then right here we had a nice engulfment candle to the upside. We could have gone 50-point stop right there, put the fib as well, literally how I mark out my TPs, TP1, TP2, TP3. TP1 would have been nice little break even. TP2 would have been brought up to TP1 right there. So after TP2 gets hit right here, stop loss, I don't even know what I'm writing. Stop loss would have been moved to right here. And then TP3 is final TP, which would have given me a nice 3% gain, which is unfortunate. We did not take the buys because I was too caught up on the sells. Hey, as a trader, you got to know where you went wrong. It is what it is. We will obviously do better tomorrow.